get this going right. This is Verbal Pick Radio. As we do the introduction, welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. I got two great young men on this podcast with me today. That's Slip Dub and Loki. How y'all fellas feeling?
Man. It's a lot going through my mind, man. I feel like I'm on this victory vibration. That's what time it is.
Yes, sir. Now, Nipsey Hussle.
I would just like to say before we start, God knew to the gods and goddesses. God knew is God and you, the Nazi greeting, family, allies, and enemies. What's happening?
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now we doing, not only are we paying homage to Nipsey Hussle, but also we want to give you all a background, which I'm understanding that Slip Dub had the opportunity to meet Nipsey Hussle. But I do want to say that going back to Black Wall Street, to the movement in Philadelphia, where they also dropped bombs on that organization, Brother Martin, Malcolm, Tupac, now Nipsey Hussle, it seems like that when you, and as I stated, Brother Farrakhan said business is warfare. When we unite, which our unity is more powerful than an atomic bomb, and the enemy knows this, he will always try to step in and kill the movement. But through our disunity, we allow him to trick us again. And we can't keep having this same scenario playing out, especially as black men, because they're going to attack our women. They're going to attack us. And we have to move in a strategic manner to outsmart this beast. We can't keep having the same scenarios play out again and again with the intelligence that we have here on this planet. And you got powerful brothers from the nation. You got 5% of the RBGs. We got brothers in gangs that's uniting. We right at the pinnacle of unification, and they know this, and it puts fear in them. And two things can occupy the same space at the same time. They do not want to get pushed out of position, and we fighting with a trickster, a demonic demon that'll do anything to stay in power. We don't know how powerful this hip hop music is because it stretches throughout the planet. Something that we created straight from the streets. So we got to take that power, bro, and change the dynamics to where we focusing on knowledge and unity. Now, Slip Dub.
Yes, sir.
Give me a rundown on how you met the brother and a little background, and especially the background of yourself.
All right, so, I'm going to start with myself and work my way into that. Well, everybody know I'm from Compton. I'm raised off of Long Beach in the Laundry, South Side. And my neighborhood, like coming up in my neighborhood, my homeboys had the birds. So since the homies had the birds, the homies had the money to pretty much put anything out of. Like Compton had lowrider clubs. My neighborhood was one hood that had their own lowrider club, the South Side of Compton. Now, Eazy-E used to buy his dope from the homies. You feel me? No, Eazy-E was a D-boy. Eazy-E from neighborhood. And so when Eazy was popping, all that side of Compton, from South Side, neighborhood, Kelly Park, and Atlantic Drive, that's that beat, like when Kelly Park was hustling, they turned quit. Like all that ended up coming into one. I mean, I'm not into one gang, but we was like one side of Compton was cool. As that was coming up, matter of fact, it's a picture on the internet when they standing in front of it like a yellow house. My step-pops had took that picture of NWA behind my house. You feel me? Mm-hmm. I used to watch them coming up, run up down the street, and rapping was just something that we wanted to do because everybody was doing it. I used to watch DJ Train make beats in his house called Fire. He passed away with South of Pizza, DJ Train. He passed away. Then coming up, Who Bang and start popping. The homie from the hood was Mac 10 road manager. And then one day, Gangster from the Comrades A lot of people don't know who the Common Man is. So that's another rap group. He rolling through the hood down Temple. I flagged him down. I spit a rap on him. So he gave me a phone number and said call me. I'm gonna give you the time to be at the studio because they had the auditions to get on Who Bang. So I get there. I record a song with the engineer. The song was called Pyro Crip. And then the homie from the hood ended up getting, matter of fact, it was around the same time the Young Hogs was getting on. The Young Hogs ended up getting put on. Netso from Dito Nutty from Nutty Block, Nutty in Peace. He ended up getting laid too. But they got put on Who Banging. They came in, they was feeling the song. They were like, it's hard. It's way out the box, but it's hard. The homie from the hood was like, you can't do both of them. He wasn't into that. So I didn't get to get with Who Banging on that. Just to let you know how much this was around. And bam, now we in high school, this and that. Me and Little Easy went to the same high school. We grew up. The homies actually had him rapping. He was rapping with the homeboys from the hood, Armed and Dangerous. Then he ended up getting his deal, doing what he doing. You feel me? Then from there, I started Double Dollar Records. Now this is when the shit really start to get tricky. We had a spot that it used to be a center. The homie mama had this youth center. And from the youth center, they still had the building. So from the building, the homie ended up they had one desk up in that motherfucker, and it was selling weed out the front of the spot. This before weed was legal. And I was telling the homie, like, man, we got to do something different. We got to be able to sell them something so they can leave out of here not with weed. They leave out of here with a bag of chips or whatever. Right. So we turned it into a clothing store. Man, I came in with the tools. We put racks on the wall, all that. So now the spot went from a $300 a day spot to like a $1,500 a day spot, and the money just kept climbing. You feel me? Yeah. The sheriffs roll up on the homies and tell us, like, look, all y'all got to do is keep less than an ounce of weed in there, and we can't do nothing. Boy, I wish I had me a shop. And they go to the house, they turn on the homie, you know what I mean? Because he was pretty much running it. You know what I mean? I was nothing like a capo. You know what I mean? They telling him, pretty much like, you give him all his gun cases, we'll do a whole rundown. So around this time now, the gang involvement, all that started beefing up. You dig? So I'm talking about the sheriff homie. That one of the homies ended up getting killed in another neighborhood. And them gang members from that hood came over to our hood and apologized to the homies because they wasn't trying to hit him. They were trying to hit another gang member. I be at the spot every day. I did not know nothing about that, them coming over and them apologizing about that. So one day we all in the crowd, and the homies start telling one of the other homies how the sheriff came to him and told him, yeah, we heard the so-and-sos came over here and apologized about your homeboy Woochie Woot getting shot in the head. And then I looked at the homie and said, they came over here? He said, yeah. And I said, the sheriff know they came over here? He said, yeah. You didn't know him? Like, hell no, I didn't know. Now, around this same time, that's when Black Power banging pretty much start to really take off. And I was wearing blue and red Chucks. I'm driving through the city and all that. You feel me? And with blue and red Chucks, blue and red rags all on the car. Now, this is 2005, 2006, 2007.
Right.
And I used to get phone calls on my cell phone with my cell phone number popping up. And motherfuckers were like a voice distorter. Like disrespecting me and shit, talking about how they gonna kill me and all this, let me down. And I'm like, because I was living in Palmer Block at that time. If you know anything, two of the first Crip-on-Crip beefs, the first one was 6 Souls and A-Trade Gangsters, and the second Crip-on-Crip beef was the Southside Compton Crips and the Palmer Blocks. So I was living in Palmer at that time. So I'm thinking like, well, I don't know who it could be, because I'm giving out my number everywhere. You feel me? And I had flyers and shit, but these motherfuckers like telling me we know where you live, we know where you at, like on some crazy shit, whatever. But anyway, my cousin, let me fast forward past all that. I just need to throw that in there so to let people know exactly how the boys get down. And also around all this time, they had the drone surveillance over Compton that it was running test experiments that they pretty much go start doing drones in the United States. But anyway, so my cousin from neighborhood, not neighborhood, over here, neighborhood 60s, but he's from over here. He taking me over there to the spot where Nipsey and them at, you know what I mean? And so we go over there to the studio, It was, matter of fact, so people want to think like, oh yeah, he just clout chasing it like he's lying and shit. It was Gooch Studio. You feel me? Cuzzy was the one. Me and Cuzzy had like a rap off. You know what I mean? And then I had spit a poem. The last time I only went with them twice. When my cousin was asking why you ain't going back over there. I'm like, man, I ain't about to just be popping up in these cats' hood, knocking on doors like that. Like, I only been over there twice. So I didn't go over there no more. But, Cuzzy had slowed one of his rap down and spit it like a poem, and he had everybody in that motherfucking quiet, and he was like, nah, cuz, that's one of my raps, and niggas was like rapping this shit. But Nip, that time, he had long hair. He had like a flat top, like a short haircut, quiet. He wouldn't even say much nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, so it's not like I had no real involvement with him. But once they blew, you know what I mean? I'm like, damn, I'm trying to talk to my cousin, like, man, they really blew up. I go over there, this is when they like really first opened the store on Crenshaw and Slauson. I go over there, it wasn't as immaculate as it is now. I buy every motherfucking CD they had up in the tape. They just lived in the CD, they were still writing on it. And I bought them from his brother, you know what I mean? I knew who his brother was only because my cousin told me who he was, not because I knew. So my cousin from 6, he told me, you know what I mean? And just to look at how small LA is, I got another cousin that's from Long Beach, 20s. His first cousin on his daddy's side is Dub C. Okay. So, you know what I mean? And he had us all backstage and shit. So it's like it's really a small knit family for everybody to be fighting like that. You know what I mean? It's a lot of inner turmoil.
Right.
But for Nip to bring it all the way to what people want to hear right now, with Nip really had. We started getting into the spirit, and me and Loki talked about this. Not to be long-winded, but Nip released a spirit inside of LA that in LA magnifying that spirit to echo across the United States. That spirit in the United States is echoing around the world, and I ain't seen nothing around the world yet, but I'm telling you, I know it because I feel it in my chest. What happened right now could crack off the United States of Africa. What happened in Los Angeles, we don't understand how much influence we have, but the spirit. And low-key wants to be on that Kodak Black shit in that spirit that we got to expel. Right. So in all the niggas that we got in our neighborhoods and our families, that them shitty niggas, we got to get them shitty. We got to purge them shitty.
That's a fact. A fact, bro. Fact. Fact.
One more thing. Another thing that was major was the Tupac raids. So I just have to say this, because when Tupac got killed, the homies came back from Vegas back to the city, and all the homies that wasn't in Vegas is now turned up, not just because these motherfuckers just rushed the home. Sure. So that started off like a weak war between Southside and the mob. Man, it was going back and forth, and I was only 16 at the time, so that was some shit going back and forth. We took our ass hats off, homie, and then we gotta go, because these motherfuckers come through, homies was going through, that shit was major. I thought my hood was the strongest hood ever. Nobody couldn't tell me nothing until I seen the police come and shut the hood down. Homie, I ain't never seen, they simultaneous raided. My uncle was going outside to smoke a cigarette at the time. My sister, baby daddy, the big homies from the hood, Cuz was paroled to my house. That's the only reason why my house got raided. You feel me? Because they did a gang sweep and took all non-active gang members in. And the door would have got torn down. But my uncle was just walking out when the boys was running up. After they cuffed us, they have me and my uncle on the couch, handcuffed. They even took all my cap guns out the room, you feel me, and set them all on the TV. After they cut us loose, I jumped in my bike and started going around the hood to try to see what's going on. Man, these motherfuckers was on damn near every street. They hit us and the mobs at the same time. This ain't the first time I've seen them come together that damn big and shut shit down. So when it comes to gangbanging, quicker than blood, a lot of people don't think that they're not strong enough to shut it down. They can. They just give us enough rope to kill ourselves.
There you go. Fact. But it's interesting when you were earlier in your story when you were saying how the sheriffs came in and had information. You know, that's that hidden hand behind the scene that play both sides. And they gonna play both sides for their benefit. They don't give a damn about us at all. Whether you in L.A., New York, Houston, or whatever, they see us as the enemy, and they always divide and conquer. And the thing about it is how do known snitches and informants still walk around the hood? Is it the fact that people view them as an extension of the law and they scared to touch them? I don't understand.
No, that's not it. So let's do it like this. I speak on LA in particular. So you got a homie from the hood. Cuz from the hood, everybody grew and had love for this cat. Now you find out he's snitching. You come with some paperwork on him. Now it's one or two things. A lot of times they get punched on and they got to get on, but they don't necessarily get laid because a lot of times they have family from the hood too.
Right.
And then you still got love for them. You just don't like the move that they made. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and it also depends who they snitch on. Some people can get snitched on. They just don't got that much rank in the hood to where they gonna let that go. But they just don't like that you snitch. And it was time me coming up in the gang, homie. Homies can get shot, know the enemy did it, and look at the police. I don't know who did it. I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? Right. And we're not till now. It's just it got watered down because they took all the real ones.
Right. That's a plan. We dealing with a wise devil who has he has a plan, man. But we got to stop falling for the same trick over and over again. He's not coming with no new tricks. What's been going on within the community has been going on for years. This been going on in every major organization, as you stated, with the spirit of Nipsey Hussle. They recognize that, but for some reason, they have to come in and stop that unification, because that unification, that's economic power, that's building power, that's even, like you stated, that's even building a connection with brothers from Africa to Brazil to the Dominican. You know what I mean? We are a nation of people that got power, but we trying to fight through this. We trying to fight through the errors that's keeping us from being unified. I mean, it's right there. We right at the edge of it. We just got to break through.
We're not trying to fight, brother.
No, we can't. We trying to
hug our way through those things.
Yeah,
we trying to turn the cheeks to those other things.
It ain't gonna happen, but
I wanna add a piece of this too, man. Is something that I've been building with y'all, and family and loved ones about consolidating energy. And so one thing that came out of this situation is that, these shitty motherfuckers, we talked about, amongst us about how people need to start holding themselves accountable, man. When you have somebody, and this is something I've personally been through, when you have somebody, in your circle and your family, and they on some low vibratory shit, low caliber, sometimes the best thing to do is pull away from that person, because you can enable a person, and then it can start a domino effect, a chain reaction, and it can affect the family structure. A whole lot of people can get laid down because of one person. And then everybody who gets laid, everybody who gets affected by the situation, they got to take accountability for their cause and effect. What part did they play? How did it, because anything that happens to any individual, and specifically I'm talking to the adults, they got to be able to look in the mirror and take accountability for what's going on in their reality. That's just bottom line. There ain't no way around it.
That's right.
So what we've been doing, we've been concentrating and consolidating our energy in the high caliber people. So people who ain't on that vibration, who's on some low caliber shit, on some shitty shit, on some lame shit, those people, either they're gonna get down with what we on, or they're gonna watch us take off and progress, and they're gonna get left behind. It's either gonna be one or the other. And if they get left behind, man, they know they're going to be fighting over crumbs. And people that fight over crumbs, man, a lot of times they don't survive that long.
They don't.
So while we progressing, they're going to be, It is what it is. They, might not make it, but...
Let me add one thing to that, comrade. When you said they're going to be fighting over crumbs, we really got to change that as well. Cause the reason why I say that is they can go to the other side and don't have to fight over the crumb and get steaks. Just like the movie The Matrix, when he was like, I know the steak is not real, but it's still so good. And, you know what I mean? That was those shitty motherfuckers. That's that shitty spirit. You feel me? So the enemy has access to everything. The enemy, look at this motherfucker, this shitty nigga. He ain't fighting over crumbs. That motherfucker got the best attorney. He got a good attorney. They lower bail. He got access to all the good shit. So the thing is, he not gonna be able to share those delicious crumbs that we gonna share with each other. And those crumbs taste the best.
That's right.
You feel me?
Well, I say, add this part too. Not to cut y'all wisdom is
yes, sir.
Is family politics, man, and our politics amongst each other, being on code with each other, talking in code with each other, creating our own language amongst each other, our own signals. This is culture. This is how we build culture, and so when certain situations happen, it's something that me and Slip Dub talked about. Sometimes you gotta let people know prior. You gotta let them know if this occurs, this is how we gonna play it. I already have that strategy already. Especially if it's somebody up under your household or somebody that you build with on a regular basis, chop it up with. So we got to get our politics solid. We gotta talk about our politics amongst each other, amongst family, loved ones that we trust, that are high caliber. We can't just give that information to anybody, even if they blood. If they on some bullshit, then they're not privy to that information. It's only for people that we have a certain level of trust for, and people that we know can really take this and take it to the next level. So politics, get our politics together.
True, the common denominator is it's bigger than us. It's what we put forth for the youth, for our young ones, your young cousins, your nieces, your nephews, your children, your daughters and your sons. We have to build a better future for them so they don't have to go through the same struggles while we in thinking mode, while we got our energy, we got our physical capabilities, we got our mindset right, and we got to build something for them out of love for them. And everybody unite under the cause of unity for love for the next generation that's coming forth, so they can have it better than what we had, but on what we built.
I'm gonna keep it 100. We need to stop with the unity. No. We got to start with the division. We got to divide from these shitty niggas first. We so busy trying to unify that the shitty niggas are still here, and we keep trying to unify with the shitty niggas. Right. That's part of the problem. So if we don't do the division first, we got to divide. Family, if you my cousin, brother, sister, homie from the hood, and you got that shitty spirit, I'm gonna divide from you. And that's the problem. I got homeboys from my hood that did some whole shit. Right. And I'm gonna keep it 100.
But see,
I didn't divide from them.
But that's
and later down the line, I seen them do this, and because they from the hood, I overlooked it, and it still went that way.
But that's a fact.
You know what I mean? Everybody that had that before.
Right.
So we got to do some division first.
True, bro. But you got knowledge yourself, and you got wisdom. Some haven't been taught yet, or don't have the knowledge to even discern who the shitty niggas is. They think it's cool. Or what's being done because people amening that shit. So when the knowledge is there, they can recognize. Wait a minute, bro. You taking me down a path, man. That's really finna end me. You know what I mean? On a negative path. But I need to move towards a positive direction so I can separate from the shitty niggas. Like you said, the shit niggas got to be pointed out so they can see who is real and who is fake. Because a lot of fake.
Oh, my bad.
No, I'm just saying a lot of fake shit is being amen. And nobody is standing out saying, "Hey, man, that's some bullshit." And that's why, I like the fact that the people came out and pointed out Kodak Black. How you gonna come after this man's wife and offer a shoulder to lean on? That was some bullshit. But people waking up, they called it, even females calling this shit out. Like, hold on, wait a minute. You know, enough is enough. We take that energy and build on it, and because it's too far to turn back now.
Right. And so something I want to mention about that too is I was watching, I don't know if it was a live video, you know, and this may have been the same video where he talked about Laura London, but whatever video I was looking at, he was talking about Nip, and he kept on talking about how people is riding them and they on his jock. You know, I ain't using the same words because I mean this ain't, you know, it's pitiful, you know, that it even went down like that. But nevertheless, he was you know, he was being disrespectful off the rip just by even, you know, talk. I mean, if people are paying homage, like, you know, here's the thing about it. Here's the thing about it, is that you have people, man. You have people that have resources, and they go and they scout, you know, and they catch wind, you know, word get around, and they start putting their resources behind certain people, but they know that these people, they may be very, very fucking ignorant. You know, they don't have knowledge of self. They're not presenting any. It's strategic planning. It's all strategic planning, because you don't put money behind you. It's just like if you have a movie. When you invest in a movie, you already know the direction and the message that is coming with that. So you're not gonna invest your money into something that's not in alignment with your business plan.
Right. They create the narrative.
You know, so people, man, whenever they say, you know, this person is an agent, man, look, there's a certain kind of connotation attached to that word to where it goes into conspiracy. It ain't no conspiracy. This is business. This is basic business planning. I think me and you was talking about it, Slip. I was talking to somebody how you can, you know, you have these people that created a system where you have a so-called top and a bottom, and based on the principle of polarity, top and a bottom, they're opposites, but it's like basically if you create this idea of a top, there's going to automatically be a bottom as a fixed variable, because you can't have a top without the opposite of it.
Right.
So, you know, a lot of this stuff, man, I don't even take it personal, man. I look at it as, you know, you have somebody who has a business plan that is in direct opposition to what we're pushing the line for. You know, so fuck all the conspiracy theory talk, man. Look at it as straight business planning, because that's all it is. That's all it is, man.
Can I just say this so we won't get too far off? I want to touch back on shitty cuz Kodak Black. No, I mean, I say lack because he lacked the integrity. He lacking a lot of shit. But this cat right here, we got to think about that. And let's go back though. All of us ran into that type of nigga. All of us, so we know we consider that a shitty spirit. You feel me? So how many times y'all went to one of y'all funerals and niggas piled up looking at the women that was there?
Yeah.
Come on, we gotta keep it 100. I've been to funerals and watch niggas do that.
Right.
Man, we burying a homie. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And I also done took a shovel while I'm just sitting here with the shovel, dumping dirt on the casket. Ain't nobody jumping up, and this supposed to be all. A lot of been funerals where I was going harder for somebody else's homie. They was going for their own.
Yeah.
But they too busy looking at the women, trying, I knocked her down. We got a funeral.
Well, we appreciate your respect for yourself and the people for even calling that out and recognizing that. And the next step is sometimes you got to check the females. Look, sister, don't come to a respectful place dressed like you on the corner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have some respect and dignity for yourself. I mean, our voice is so powerful. And see, the thing is, we was created with an inclination towards righteousness. Within our DNA, within our soul, we just got to speak on it and bring it out. You know, goddamn. I mean, shit. this man had took us down to damn near zero. We repairing and building ourselves up, and some people wake up faster than others. And man, our praises be to those who wake up, man, and like you brothers who put your voice to something that needs to be done, and these things need to be heard because, you know, a lot of OGs see some fucked up shit and won't even say, and you know that wasn't the code, that wasn't how we grew up. You know, you would sell out for these few little crumbs like we stated earlier, but you sacrificing something much bigger than that because soon as it be one of their loved ones that get touched, now you upset. When really, in foresight, hell, if you would have said something, stood on some type of principles, it might have could have changed the dynamics of the situation. See, what we're doing right now is we trying to go back and correct all the fucked up shit that we saw going that took place, and we trying to mend that and not so saying make it right, but in the fact at least point it out, and then stand on your principle. And then don't because what the Caucasian understand is he's saying, look, man, I can drop I can drop crack in the hood, I can drop guns in the hood, and they gonna pick it up and turn against themselves because what he thinking is that he's saying that he dumbed down the black community so much to where they don't even recognize when they getting played. And then the ones who do recognize it, they stand out. And he go after them because he feel like, hell, it's no repercussion. What they gonna do? But now,
you know what? You dropping so many jewels. But before you had said something about a female coming to a funeral dressed like somebody on the corner.
Right.
What I wanted to say to that is because you said that and that made so much sense. And I already started doing this, but I want to publicly acknowledge this, that even on the internet, I don't like those kind of pictures. I will not go to like it, and if I do go to comment, I'm going to go and comment with a negative comment to show the sisters that this is not what we're going to accept no more. Yeah. Take your ass off the internet.
Right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's right. Have some respect for your damn self. You know, you ain't representing us like that at all. It's played out because it leads to so much other shit, man. It leads to so much other shit, and it's played out. Meaning that it's like medicine in a sense. You know, anything you can take the medicine longer than longer than it should be to where it turn into a poison. You can be dumbed down so long to where you're not seeking knowledge and wisdom till it turns into a poison within yourself. And you're right. And the not saying mercy, but the forgiveness that we had is playing out because we can't go into 2019, 2020 doing the same old shit that ain't getting no results. Hell, that's insanity. And knowing the history that we come from, pyramid builders, I mean, we got so much knowledge that's within our DNA and our genetic coding that we got to pull it up out and use the intelligence of our mind to cause things into existence to set this thing straight. And I want to drop this. It was stated that Satan wanted more time on this planet, even though his 6,000 years was up. He said that if I could dumb down the people and where they won't seek knowledge, then the ones who do have knowledge, and if they don't do anything, then maybe the Creator would leave things just as it is and he can continue to rule. Because his fear was that we challenge him on his knowledge and use our wisdom and think him out of existence. We got the mind power to think him out of existence. You know?
Indeed.
But the problem is fear. See, a lot of cats, man, claiming to be gangsters that won't stand up on principle because they're afraid. But they're not afraid to shoot each other. Hell, I'm shooting another nigga.
I was going to mention that. All right, go ahead.
I'm shooting another nigga. I don't give a damn. Nobody respects and cares about the black man. Hell, they see I'm just killing another nigga. So what? But I know what you're talking about, man. I done seen cats, man. We fighting. We shoot off in the hood. But soon as we travel out the hood and traveling, and it's majority of white folks around, motherfuckers straighten up, quiet, and what the fuck?
Yes, sir.
You know, you trained or something. He still got you trained. You know what I mean? You saying that we can't do industry where we can compete on a high level as far as in business or whatever, and cause things into existence for ourselves and our families. You know, I don't believe that, bro, because I look at our history and the great things we done.
They just keep stripping us. They keep taking us. And then not only that, you know that the clergy is used to pacify the people.
Yeah.
If you go look on my Instagram, Black Power Banging, you go look on my Instagram, and I did a video about all these churches that's surrounding Compton. Compton is pretty much a big ass church. There's more Christians and Baptists than Crips and Bloods in Compton. Compton is only 10 square miles. 10 square miles. 5 miles north and south, 5 miles east and west. It's a small little bitty ass city. And they got so many churches in it. Like in my neighborhood, there was a church on the street, like where I grew up with, and where I grew up on. I could walk outside my front door on front grass and look to the right and see a church. A big ass church at the end of the street. Right at the beginning of the street. But when I say that to say this, that still didn't help. So, and we only use Satan to destroy us, but we don't use Satan to destroy our foe.
Come on.
Because evil is a necessary tool. So I'm not opposed of using evil, and I ain't trying to think evil out of existence. I'm just trying to redirect evil. Obviously, well, that's the point where I'm at right now. All that extra, I tried Jesus. I did, and Jesus didn't work for me. Right. Now I start redirecting evil. Oh, I know how to use it now as a tool.
Okay.
And it's another tool in my box.
I wanna add this too, man, to the whole dressing thing. I was just talking to somebody about it. Might have been my lady about and I want us to touch on that point too about the importance of having an empress or a queen on your side, and what that image meant with Nipsey and, you know, his lady, his fiance, his wife, Lord London, you know. And so this whole dressing thing, man, you know, it's like, man, I look at it like uniforms. You know, when you're at home, you got your lounge wear. When you go to work, you got your so we just need to dress accordingly, man. You know, whenever I was going, you know, when I would go up to the mosque, you know, off Old Spanish Trail on the south side, and, you know, everybody was dressed accordingly. You know, there was the way that they have it set up is so it won't be distractions from getting the information.
Right.
And that's wise, and that's the way that we need to move. We need to pimp accordingly when it comes to life, man. You know, there's a time and a place for everything. It is just that simple.
It's that simple, bro.
You know, why show up to a funeral like you showing up to the club? That don't make no sense. That's the wrong uniform for the occasion. We're there for spiritual upliftment. We're there to do our ritual and send that high vibratory energy off with our loved ones and our family that transition. That's it. We're not there for that other shit. So you gotta, you know.
But they might not have nothing else but that. That just also lets you know about their wardrobe. Because how many of us actually go to some business shit? We don't have businesses. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
that's where politics come in, where you got to bless your family game, where, hey, chunk them a little. For us, that I got so many clothes, man, I got to throw clothes away. You know, I don't throw them away, but, you know, I set them out for people who don't have them, people that live, you know, that's homeless. You know, so we can pass that off to our family members. We need to do that. So I'm glad you brought that up, Slip, because somebody came to a funeral, I ain't gonna say in my family, and they didn't have the garb, but we wasn't in contact with them on the level to where we could have passed and made sure that they had something. But that needs to be implemented in our politics. Well, we already know,
that's a fact. Well, it's like when Slip Dub said trying to redirect evil. That's a science that needs to be studied, and I hope, you know, in the near future you can break it down to its simplest form so they can understand that science, because that is a science.
That better than I do. Let me keep it real, comrade. Look, when it comes to the physical war, I've been on physical.
Right.
Loki said go spiritual. Now, Loki was like, man, fuck it, I ain't trying to come back to this place spiritual. And I've been trying to get him physical. Right. You know what I mean? And right now we meeting in the middle, and to where it's like, you know what I mean? I got you. So now I'm waiting. And then he be telling me, look, he be like, man, you doing it already. See, that's what you did. Then he explained what I did in a spiritual sense. And he like you doing it, but you don't know you doing it. You know what I mean?
Because we spiritual. We spiritual beings. So yeah, we can cause things, and everything that you see in existence came out of the thought of somebody's mind. It wasn't here before. The power, and think about it. We go back. Our history goes back so far that time erased our history, bro. We've been here so long and been creating so long till it's time to wake up and use that power of their mind. I'm telling you, we can outthink this devil, man. He only been here 6,000 years. He don't really have no real wisdom other than what we gave him. He whooping us with our own shit.
Yeah. And one thing I want to add to that too, real key, man. Anybody hearing this, understand this. If you're an adult, because when you're a child, you have guardians over you that assist you with your growth and development. But once you become an adult, you need to understand this. When everything's happening in your reality, everything that you see and experience, you need to. It only occurs. It only happens from the person in the mirror. It's coming from you. It's coming from what's going on inside of you and around that. What's going on in your subconscious, everything that goes into your program, everything that you see, smell, touch, everything that you sense through your senses is creating a reality around you. Principle of cause and effect. Every single thing that occurs, every second that goes by, there's a cause for it, there's an effect, and vice versa. So there's absolutely nothing that you could do, including breathing, that is not going to trigger something else in your timeline. So when everything's happening in your reality, take responsibility for it because you made it manifest. As much as you can point the finger at the next person, you need to look into the principle of cause and effect and figure out how you got from point A to point B.
Yeah.
Straight up, because everybody's so quick to always point fingers, but they not as quick to look in the mirror and take accountability for what's going on in their reality. Yeah. Especially if you know that you God, goddess, titan, giant. You got it. When you take on these terms, you got to take responsibility of what goes on in your reality. You made that manifest, so capitalize on it because it's no obstacles, only opportunity. You can make opportunity off of anything. It's just your perspective. So we got to get to work. We got to be active, man. It ain't. You know, every time is priceless. You can't get that back. So, I mean, and I'm not taking nothing away. Of course, you got your time for relaxation and things of that nature. You need that too. That's for balance. Right. But when it's time to go to work, it's time to go to work. Ain't time to play. Put on the right uniform and let's get to work. Because everybody on this phone, the reason why they my loved ones, why they my family, is because they go super hard.
Come on, man.
Super hard, man. They stand up, man. These are men's men that's on this line right now. You know? So it's that time. Neighborhood Nipsey Hussle.
I was just about to bring him back in.
Man's man. You know?
I was just about to bring him back up.
Yeah.
Let me put this out there real quick. Because there's so many positive aspects that we could pick out about Nipsey. And I was telling Loki this. I was like, this is one thing Nipsey did for people. Not just Nipsey, Noah London. Nipsey made it, and Noah London made it okay to fall in love again. So when you said, brother, when you said that we need to outthink this devil, it's not that we need to outthink him. And when I mean devil, I mean this physical being that want to keep us enslaved.
Right.
So it's not that we need to outthink him. We just need to stop doing what he wants us to do. We just need to stop doing the work that's going to keep him in power.
There you go.
Basically, that's what Nick did by not having all these females shaking ass and booty all in his video.
That's right.
Think about, I can't even think about an Nipsey video where it was ass shaking in it.
Yeah, but look.
I mean, when I think about Nipsey, that don't cross my mind.
That's right.
Yeah.
But
you feel me? So, and the only thing I could just imagine when I think of him exalting his queen.
Facts. Super facts.
You feel me? So with that, like low-key brought it up, it's a power move. On every chessboard, there's a queen on it. And then you know you could really win a game if you get another queen. Get that pawn across the board for another queen.
Come on.
That goes back into polygyny.
Come on.
Polygyny, low-key.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hey.
yeah.
Oh,
African power banging.
Yeah.
FOI, baby. Yeah,
Come
but no, it's all love and respect. Y'all know where I'm coming from.
Come on, yes, sir, bro.
Just feeling the spirit, man. You know I got love for
this-
everybody, man.
but-
That's on our type time.
As
That's
a
on
fact.
our vibration.
But think about this, though, bro. I just want to add this and get y'all thoughts on this, right? See, Nipsey Hussle was first generation in America because it's people from Ethiopia, even though he was born in America, right? So think about it.
Eritrea. You talking about Eritrea or Ethiopia?
From what I said, it was Ethiopia.
Okay.
No, it was Eritrea.
Okay.
It was Eritrea. Yeah, so look, his father came over here, but his mother is from here.
Okay.
And his father came over here.
And his father
So,
came.
yeah, I mean, however you want to do it, this was basically his native soil. But he just had direct roots
Right.
back home and family members that he could say, I got first cousins that's still over here. A lot of us don't have that.
We don't have that. See, so what I'm saying, but the point I'm trying to make is that the conversation that we having tonight is coming from a freed mind, like Nipsey Hussle had a freed mind, and so from Slip Dub, ex
Can I
gangbanger.
correct you real quick, brother?
Yes, sir.
He had a. You got to put an ED on that. He had a freed.
Yeah, a freed mind.
Because his mind was enslaved. It was enslaved at one point in time. But he also speak about going back to Antioch and seeing the people and seeing that they'll shut down the whole city to go back home and have dinner with their family, how they centered around family, and a lot of it centered around food, and that made a lot of sense to him. But when he came back, he wanted the same thing for his hood. So he was trying to bring the African culture to the lost Africans in Los Angeles.
Come on, that's what I'm saying, bro. Think about it. That's progression. Slip Dub, ex gangbanger. You got Loki, myself, street, but at the same time, knowledge is power. We elevated ourselves from our will, and then sharing that knowledge. Say again?
I'm still a gangbanger.
Okay.
I just don't gangbang against my people. I black power bang.
Come on, there you go.
You guys go check me out on Instagram. Go look at it. My YouTube, on my Facebook, they ended up shutting the first one down. But the black power banging is still taking that gangbang energy and just redirecting it.
Right.
That's all I did. That's what I was telling you about that negative. Just taking it and redirecting it. You know what I mean? And low-key broke it down in the spiritual sense on how that all fits into the spiritual realm.
That's right.
You know what I mean? You have to get with him on that.
Right.
But I didn't know I was doing it.
But it's elevation. It's elevation.
Yeah, straight up.
It's elevation because you're not stagnated. You ain't in the same, meaning that's growth.
Yeah, I got you.
That's
right.
Evolution. We evolution.
Evolving. Yeah, but it takes that inner being, that love of self to evolve. And then when you evolve, you'll notice your vision is clearer. I'm saying in the spiritual sense, you see things. You have intuitions. You know, you start noticing things like Slip when you mention how, man, do y'all, when you saying this coming from your inner selves of how the people in Ethiopia and Africa, they own this, not taking this lightly. You see what I'm saying? Of what it's causing. It's evolving. You know what I mean? And through that energy, people would catch that wave just by listening to this podcast. People catching that wave, they understand and they feeling that energy because, first of all, this wasn't scripted. This coming straight from the soul, from the spirit. You know what I mean? We didn't sit down and write a script and okay, here go the questions and this what I'm gonna say and this what you say. Now this is real.
That's a fact.
Right, so people can catch that energy wave and build on it. You know what I mean? And sometimes this all it takes is to create that spark. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people feel this way, they just afraid to say it, man.
Right.
Now
right. They got what? Oh,
now I'm about to say, now that they see brothers that they can identify with and recognize, they can remove that fear and speak out on it. You know, move, take this wisdom, take this science, because it's a science, and build on it. Lay your foundation and keep building. And then don't get, like they say, don't get knocked off your square. Man, if you right, stand for right and keep moving, because the enemy, he gonna come test you. You know what I mean? But hell, I'm standing on right, bruh. And and I got the power of my ancestors bagging me. I got the spirit of these two brothers bagging me. Other brothers, even if we not in the presence, the spirit is there, man. Hey, I ain't worried.
That's a fact, man. Y'all, everybody listen to this, man. That's down with this science. Put your Nipsey altars up, man. Yeah. Put your Nipsey altars together, and just understand, man, that that form of energy that we call and that we know as Nipsey Hussle is now where it exists is in our subconscious. Where right now we're conversing in our waking consciousness, but we're always connected to our subconscious. So, and also known as the mental plane or the mind. First principle of the 7 principles of Tahuti is the mind is all, the universe is mental.
Come on.
So this is the principle of mentalism. So just understand, you can tap directly in. And like I was telling somebody earlier, I ain't gonna say their name, I ain't gonna put them out there, but the way that this is how this thing works is that if you're dealing with an altar or a shrine, and you get what you're doing is you're actually programming yourself on how you move. So that means that when you get into into these particular things, it's gonna affect what you say. Everything that has to do with what you eat. Anything having to do with movement, even your body functions because of the placebo. We know that based on the placebo pill, that if you think that this particular pill has a particular function, then your body's going to have a direct reaction to it. So the body follows the mind. So just understand, when you get into these things, you're just programming yourself on how you want to move. So, whenever they say, when they talk about divining, to the ancestors or to template energy, this is what you're programming yourself. Point blank, bottom line. So this is a way to power up. Our ancestors left this science behind so we can understand how to program ourselves, so we can never be disconnected from these particular energies that are beneficial to us, because they're a part of us. Principle of correspondence. Everything is connected on the appearance of separation. So understand that we're never disconnected from that energy. We can access it at all times. So tap in.
Hey, I want to say one thing about that. A place where people, because a lot of people don't know where to start. And when I talk to a lot of people, they've been wondering where they can start. So they had to start probably listening to me say something and go through his history. And I can mention a different book. You don't have to pick up no book. You don't have to. Just start to research your family lineage. Find out. And not only that, this is also important because with the ADOS movement, I wasn't with the whole ADOS movement because they used American. But then I looked at it like, you know what? Marcus Garvey used Negro where he didn't want to use Negro, and he rather use African, but he knew the people wasn't ready for African. So push for ADOS movement. We also could get this reparations, but in order for the people to do it, they're going to have to do the research on their family anyway to be able to get a check, because you're going to have to find an ancestor that was here and that was enslaved, because they're using that. You got to use that to try to cash in with that check. So it's 2 birds with 1 stone. You're doing the research, getting ready to cash it in, and you also learning your family lineage. You feel me? Right. So, for example, I know my great-grandparents. If you go learn just your great-grandparents, find all 4 of them. Like, you know what I mean? Actually, it was 6. So, 8. You go find all of them and find out where they come from. And once you get that there, you pretty much know. Like, most of my family come from Louisiana. Right. North and south of Louisiana. Back in California. Came in California. And I trace family back to Texas as well. You know what I mean? So that'll start to tie knots and tie a lot of us together. We'll see how we're related, and that we really just one big family.
That's right.
So when you take a Chinese person, and they have to have sex with a Chinese person in order to have a Chinese baby.
Right.
After 500 years, you don't think they all cousins?
Come on. You feel
what I'm saying?
That's right.
So a race is a family.
Come on.
And we're killing our family. People looking at us being genocidal.
Right.
But that's why the attention is on us. And all that blood that's in the street is now we're going to resurrect. But now let me tell you where that is. On my Instagram, I said police shootings are going to be on pause. A police shooting right now would have the United States erupt in some Iraq shit.
That's right.
The people are so in mourning, and the spirit of unity is so beautiful. Anybody that's trying to divide their unity right now, it will blow the fuck up. And especially Los Angeles right now. The police better walk on eggshells, homie. And I just told the people, go get food and go stack up water and put that shit in your house, because you never know. You never know. They can fuck around and shoot a brother, shoot a child. Imagine if they shot, what's the brother name that was in the park? Damn, I forgot the brother name. I hate doing that. In the park with a fake gun.
Not Tamir Rice?
Yeah, you feel? If they would have jumped out and shoot any child right now, Ayanna Jones, any child. And we were sweeping a lot of this under the rug. They're killing babies. Yeah. And we sweeping a lot of it under the rug. Are passionate people. Yeah. Are passionate people.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah. We hoping that they do right.
Yeah, fuck that hope shit.
I
don't even use the word hope. It ain't even in my vocabulary. I don't hope for shit. So I just make shit happen.
It ain't happen.
Shit. It just makes shit happen. And I don't believe in shit. I either know or I don't know, or I may know a little something. Period. I don't believe in shit. I ain't into that belief shit. Ain't no blind nothing like that. Like, do the knowledge. If it's shit, I ain't gotta believe, because shit, I'm studying, motherfucker. Shit.
Right. But let me ask y'all this.
I'm building with my brothers.
That's right. Let me ask y'all this.
My sisters.
Ask y'all this before we take it to an end, back on the reparations, right? Can y'all recommend, after they do the family research, say the reparations come into existence, you get the check, can y'all recommend anybody that have a good lecture or a good way on budgeting and managing money, that they can, once they get it, they can know how to whether it's investing or not spending on material things, and then you done ran through your whole check?
For sure.
Yeah. Go ahead, Loki. Go ahead.
Shit, Dr. Boyce Watkins.
Okay.
And go check out Mira Kush, because when you get into more science, one major aspect is you just learning how to upgrade your business tactics. Okay. Because what's going on is that you got motherfuckers who are using advanced business tactics against people who look like you and me, so when you study more science, you learn how to get take your business to the ultimate level. Whatever you're doing, it don't matter if you're a billionaire. If you start studying more science, and I say go check out Mira Kush, Cheyenne, and Illamir, whatever you got going, it'll take it to the next level, I guarantee you.
There you
because go. It's all in black and white. So it's right there for you,
Yeah, there you go. I just wanted to make sure we didn't miss nothing, bro. We didn't miss anything.
What I would suggest is one, start to invest in anything that'll help you works, as in like dictionaries, accountant dictionaries.
Come on.
Accountant dictionary, and just read the accountant terms. Malcolm X made the dictionary, he went in as Malcolm Middle, came out as Malcolm X. He came out as Superstar. When you understand these accountant terms, then you start to understand the language. When you understand business is a language. Everything in business you already know how to do, because you do business transactions every day. Mm-hmm. But then when you start to understand the language, you be like, oh, that's what they mean. Right. But they lock you out with the jargon. And that's with anything, they lock you out with the jargon.
Anything.
And information is in a figure 8. Like, for example, if you learn the circulatory system of the blood, you pretty much learn how air conditioning unit works. I do refrigeration. And sometimes I explain the refrigeration systems to people by understanding how blood works, how the heart pump, how you have capillary tubes, how you have high pressure, low pressure. It's the same thing with refrigeration. And an easy book to read, though, is Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah.
One easy book to read. It's a mindset. So we can look at Nipsey. Nipsey didn't go to college. But when he did, he studied everything around him. So the best thing to do really is study. When you study the world around you, you basically studying your market. Everybody else will come and do that very same thing. Study your market and then study how to sell it to you. The Koreans don't use none of the products they sell, and they always put the black face up. Our problem with us is we so busy trying to get the shine. Stop getting the shine, focus on the money. What if the Koreans put the Korean faces on the front of a beauty salon with black hairstyles? Black women won't go there. So they put black women because that's what they want to attract. Right. So we have to look at what's already going on and start to do that. So if you're a plumber, Put a white man on the side of your plumbing van. So what?
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's business.
Walk up in that motherfucker and yes, sir, boss. Yes, sir.
For real. For real.
Get the money.
Get the money.
Get the money. It's so, like, when it comes to that, understand, reach that point, understand the difference between assets and liabilities. Right. Once you understand the difference between assets and liabilities, you'll stop buying the motherfucking Jordans. Man, I went and paid $34 for some Wolverines. Those are work boots. And I made all that money back.
That's right.
Now I don't even go buy them boots no more. I go right to Walmart.
Come on.
You feel me?
That's right. Business sense.
On the real.
Yeah, right. and you can also learn about some of these liabilities that y'all are calling y'all fake ass friends. That ain't your friends. That's on some shitty. That's on some shitty bullshit. You know. So yeah, assets. Learn about assets and liabilities. It applies to life in general.
That's right. And somebody that can add a plus to the situation instead of negatives. Instead of trying to subtract, adding the plus to it.
Also, to see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. Is that it's certain things that you can see that's an asset and that's a liability. Things that you hear, asset and liability. Things that you say that could be an asset and liability to yourself. So that's it. So whenever you see those monkeys and they're covering their eyes and their ears and their mouth, that's important. That comes from our ancestors. They're letting you know that you're surrounded by potential energy. So based on where your mind is at, when you focus on it, there's going to be a cause and effect on what you see in front of you based on what you're taking in, based on what you're consuming, and having energy exchanges with. So
let me tell you a business model right now you can go and see, and it's fucking genius. So you got rappers. They do the thing, they make it rain in the club, right? So now, I'm at work right now.
Right.
But anyway,
making money.
So, you feel me? I'm on the clock, brother. You feel me? I signed a $10,000 sign-on bonus just to come and work here. But anyway, check it. So, and I seen this when I went to a club out here in Atlanta. So, I'm watching them throw all this money on the ground. I walk in, see all this money. Now, this is not a strip club, but it's all on the floor. But you do got women walking around in some bikinis. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's big, but in the front, like, anybody else need some ones? Anybody need some ones? Oh, man, you got a free bottle. When you can make it rain, make it rain. Basically, when they're giving out bottles in the club, that's pretty much the same model of Chuck E. Cheese. You go and spend $45, $50, $60 to get one of those, get a couple of little trinkets, when you got to spend $500 to get a teddy bear. You got to have $500 worth of tickets to get a teddy bear. But that's that same thing. Now, look, they took that same model in the club. I'm going to get back to the club. That same model in the club, and they made a Dave & Buster's. That's just a grown folks Chuck E. Cheese to do the same thing, and they spending all this money to play games, right? Mm-hmm. So in the club, the more the speaker could get you to throw money down, the owner of the club, when he go and sweep that money up, because if you see him down there picking up the money, that's a social status. It's going to make you look bad. But you walking on it, it's something different. But when he go sweep that money up, he could pay his staff. And everything from the liquor and everything from the door that he got is profit. Mm-hmm. That's a beautiful business model. They got business models everywhere. Now you got to look at that business model and try to find out how you can emulate that. Right. And you emulate it for you and for your benefit.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. It can be done. That's what's up. That was beautiful, man. Look. Everybody that's listening, take this knowledge, information, apply it to your life and yourself. This is actually beneficial for you. I thank you, brothers, for being on the show. Slip Dub, Low Key. That was wonderful. We're not through. We'll do a part 2 in the near future and keep this thing rolling, because this is, I don't want to say charity, but this is giving back to the community. It's giving back.
Man,
when you got brothers
whenever the people ready, I'm with you, homie. I'm riding with you.
That's what's up, God. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
That energy, man. We sharing wisdom and knowledge, man, is people don't understand how great that is, because you learning something new every day, and then when you apply it to your life, it'll pull you out of certain situations, and it's the message. It's not per se the messenger. Take the message and apply it to your life and build, because people get tired of seeing these movies where they got black folk, white man or white somebody handing them something and they so happy like they couldn't get it on their own or didn't have the mind to achieve something for themselves. And I mean, that whole model is played out, man. Played out. They run commercials with that shit. You know what I mean? Like, we just, the community just indolence, and they couldn't succeed unless, a white hand reaching down, pulling you up when you got the original mind. But thank you all for being on the show, bro. Till next time, it's on.
Yeah.
All right.
Peace, God.